Hey, I'm in the church today to talk with you and while you're at home, because before long we're going to be we're going to be opening this space again. It's going to be different. We're going to still have to sit far apart from each other, but it will be nice to see your faces when I'm talking. I'm going to read a hymn, part of a hymn. I'm not going to sing it because singing isn't my best gift. I love to sing, but I sing for myself and for my own enjoyment. Small things count, so Jesus said, cups of water, crumbs of bread. Small things done because we're kind count as big things in God's mind. Small things make the big things grow, grains of yeast inside the dough, puffs that swell a big balloon, notes that make a happy tune. Sometimes we feel like we totally don't matter. We're just so small, and we're just one person, and we just have one idea, one thought, one little bit that we can do. But Jesus told his disciples 2 parables to tell them they were important. Each and every one of them was important. He said, take the mustard seed. Now, this isn't the kind of mustard that we put on our hot dogs. This is, because that grows in a little herb-like plant. This is a seed that grows into a tree, but it's still really small, kind of like the seeds that make mustard. So Jesus said, this seed is the smallest of all seeds, but it grows into a huge shrub, kind of like a great big old lilac tree, because it grows up in lots of stalks, and it grows with branches right touching the ground. And Jesus said, birds come and nest in this tree because it's great shelter and the fruit is really good. So this tiny little seed grows into this shrubby tree that we all know and that's really important to us. And he said, when you make bread, you add just a little bit of yeast and a whole lot of flour and some water, and that yeast changes that whole mixture. If you didn't add the yeast, you'd get, Play-Doh if you didn't add enough water, but you'd get a flatbread. Flatbreads have their place, but to get a loaf of bread, that full, airy, light thing, you need the yeast to get in there and change the whole mixture, and then it grows. And the song adds that, we see this. If I had a balloon and I was blowing into it, just puff of air, a little bit, but get that balloon here, it's growing. Big balloon, all from little puffs of air. Sometimes big changes happen all of a sudden with big actions. But more often, change comes because each person of every age and stage makes a change in their lives, and that change contributes to the whole. And when one person makes a little change, that also can change the whole atmosphere around. When kids are bullying at recess, it kind of gets contagious that one kid is bullying and others don't want to be left out and they keep bullying, and But if one person comes and stands with the child who's being bullied, and stands up beside them and says, "That's wrong," things change. The person who was being bullied knows they're not alone. And the people who joined just because they didn't want to be left out, they know that there's something else that they could have done. They could come over and stand here. That kindness changes the whole atmosphere and can change people's lives. The person who was being bullied will remember they do have friends. They're not just the one being pushed around. There's somebody standing up with them. And that's what Jesus did all the time. He stood with the people who were being bullied. He looked after the people who were left out. He cured people one person at a time and made a huge difference in the world. So you are important. I'm important, even with my crackly singing voice. I can be kind, and I can do little things that make a difference in creation and in people's lives. And so can you. You are disciples of Jesus with the power to be yeast. You can be a seed that grows and changes and becomes a shelter, something other people, a support that other people can lean on. So go, make a difference, and we'll talk soon.